Morning, we are here in Gloucestershire and we're after Roe Bucks. We're in the rut, rut's in full swing. Unfortunately today a little bit of rain, so that's probably dampened the excitement of the bucks. But we'll try hard, we'll try our calling skills, and fingers crossed we get some action. Basically it's our first YouTube film for ourselves, and I'm going to invite a guest every time. And today I've got a very special guest, basically where it all began with me. He taught me my skills, and I've managed to persuade this person to come out and do some talking on camera, which he's not too keen on, but he's actually got some amazing stories, and I've heard him a few times before, but they are, very, very good. And it's my father, Martin Childerley. So it's the first time you've obviously been out stalking, or I managed to drag you out and persuade you to come out with me.
It is, the first time. Not the best of mornings, but
No.
Hopefully you're clear.
Can you remember when the first time we went out together? Obviously I was with you all the time, but like the first time we went out stalking?
Well, you've done a lot with me when you was younger, and the first time I remember being up in the high seat and taking my 243, and you sat on my lap, and you had my rimfire 22.
Yeah.
And the idea was that you're going to shoot a fox,
yeah.
and then we wait a bit longer, and then I shoot a deer. That was the plan. So we sat there, and anyway, out come the fox on cue, and popped the fox off and shot the fox. That's great. So we waited for 20 minutes, and out come a roe buck, and bang, we killed that as well. Do you remember?
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. How old was I then?
Well, you've got to have been sort of like, job to say, but probably about 12-ish, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I can remember that. I remember going a lot of times, when we used to do the lamp and the fox. I mean, the early days, before thermal and everything come about, we used to go out, and I remember camping out, waiting in front of the pheasant pen.
That was our first night when I had my 243. We put the tent up.
Yeah.
We had the battery clipped on the spotlight,
Yeah.
a mega big spotlight, and we waited there. And 12 o'clock, out come the fox, and put a lamp on him. He was running around killing pheasants out in front of the pen.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah,
and then bang, dead fox, and we went to sleep.
Yeah. I mean, that's quite an unusual camping experience for I don't know, would have been then 10 or so.
Yeah. Probably 10 or 12, It's the same period. We probably had roe deer come through the estate when you was about 10.
Yeah.
The first roe deer there.
That's the first time you remember seeing them.
Seeing the first little forward pointer on the estate in Camden Wood.
What about muntjac?
No, I didn't. That was a little bit later, knowing the muntjac was there. But my memory serves me right. It was just the roe buck was first. Yeah.
And then, can you remember when the first fallow was seen?
Oh gosh, yeah, it was. I can tell you exactly. It's on my 40th birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
And you're how old now? 62?
75. 35 years ago. Yeah.
35 years ago. Wow.
Because we had the party in the Ligon.
Yeah.
And the deer was actually on the Childerley in the Ligon.
Oh right, brilliant. Yeah. Well, what we're going to do today, obviously you're set up and you know where you're going.
Yeah.
You head out and do what you do. You know where I'm doing. I'm going to basically, I'm going to work around this side, and my calling skills will probably flush a buck out towards you.
Yeah.
And obviously I'll hear you shot. If you shoot one, I'll come back to you.
Okay.
So don't drag out and stuff. I'll sort that out when I come back to you. Right, we're in the drippy woods. Oh look, there's one just there. Look. It's coming through. Deer just moving now. Look, we've got deer coming through to us. She's coming. She might bring a buck behind her. Yeah, like I say, sometimes great to pull in a doe that's coming through the wood like that, because a lot of the time the buck's chasing her. Putting some soft, gentle squeaks, and you'll pull her in, and then pull that buck out the woodwork. It's a hell of a wet, damp morning after that massive thunder shower we've had, and it's just great that we're actually seeing deer move straight away. No, I don't think she's got a buck with her. She's just moving through. Yes, that was a great start. We literally come 20 yards from the cars, and there was a doe come charging through. So I thought, buck was behind her, giving her a bit of rutting. She's actually just by that tree. Look at that. She's come right in by the tree. Yeah, so I give her some little small tiny calls like a fawn just to pull her in that little bit more. Just if there was a buck chasing her, then I might just pull him in that little bit further, but no such luck. And she's just coming to this tree here and stamping her foot. So anyway, we'll carry on. What we do is we'll push on around this track here, and there's a nice open plantation. We'll get there and we'll give a few calls, and then probably we'll try and get out of this damp wood and go to the edge of the wood where there's some wild bird mix and stuff, where hopefully they're out drying off. Here he comes, buck coming in over the top through the grass. Okay, he's coming through nicely. Okay, about 40 metres now. Well, that was a result because, like I say, it's been a wet, damp, stormy morning, and I think I've been proven wrong. So basically they are rutting and they're not sitting down. This wet weather hasn't stopped them. We called in a doe straight away, and then we come to this little bit of a favourite spot I got, and a few calls, and we called in a nice doe come trotting in, and she's like kept her distance, and the younger buck, he couldn't resist the call, and he just basically meandered his way in, and had a little trot and meandered his way in again, and we got him into about 40 metres, which is, for me, is brilliant. And that's what it's all about, using your skills, using your craft, and trying to outwit these clever little sods, because you know they're on it, they're on you all the time. So yeah, fantastic. Got him right in, he come right up looking, and took a neck shot because it was in the longer cover, 40 metres off the sticks. Yeah, straight down. So very pleased. Let's go and have a look at him. Okay, so nice young buck. I'm really happy, because it's like, that's like, for me, that was a textbook Roe buck call in woodland. You don't know where they're going to come from, but you've got your favourite areas. Get to a nice tree, get a position so you've got a nice dark background so that you're not silhouetted at all. Give a few big loud calls. Once that's like embedded in the wood, got the attention of the animals, then soften it. Once you see movement, soften it, lessen it as well. The first one, quite a few calls, get the attention of everybody in the wood. We're here, we've got actions going on, and soften it. And as they come, soften it, soften it, soften it. And yeah, patience as well. That's another big thing with Roe buck calling. I find quite a few people, they squeak and they move. You got to squeak, let that noise embed in. Then those animals know you're there, and just you'll sometimes get a buck here, meander in and look and really sort of like work out. That's not a normal call, is it, or isn't it? Obviously, it's a young buck, a little bit gullible, but very pleased. Great condition. Not many ticks, which is absolutely good news for me, because that's my pet hate. Nice young little baby 6-pointer. Yeah, look at that. Neck shot, like I say, straight into the front, out the back, copper round, dropped them on the spot. Yeah, super clean buck. Beautiful colour, absolutely. Look at the colour of him. He's a younger buck. Small 6-pointer. The one I said, a little spindly 6-pointer thing. Seen him on camera a few times. So good one to take out. And there's a bigger boy here actually. he's in this quarter of the wood is here, and he pushes through to this bit. So yeah, it's still in good condition. So obviously I haven't been rutting very long. So yeah, great. Right, what we do now is we'll head up around the top here, come out, so there's a bit of set aside, bit of wild bird mix. We'll come out there, down to the side, there's a long belt going out. We'll probably get to the other side there, give that a little cool, some fields below it, so there might be some bucks out in the dry around the hedgerows. And then probably come back up through and check my dad, see what he's up to. I've not heard a shot yet, so, but I think he will get a bit of movement when we bring, like, stalking at the plantation below him, because you know, with the movement down below, they should probably push at the top. We will see. Right, let's do it. We're gonna give here a try. We've walked in, we're underneath some beeches, so it's quite dry in here, so it's not the ideal spot, it's quite bare. So we'll give it a go. There's a lot of buzzards whistling, so I'll probably do all these little silly things you try and think about when you're calling. You know, if I did a higher pitch, you know, might not get the attention of a buck because they're used to the buzzard squeaking. So I'm going to do a little bit of a lower tone, give that a go. Definitely different than the buzzard call. Quite loud, quite aggressive. Again, if a buck comes, we won't be able to wait around much because we're quite in the open. And it's quite open under these beaches, so we're going to have to like react quick, assess, and then leave him or take him, depending on what he's like, whether he's a good buck or not a safe shot or a good safe shot. So. Nothing as yet. Somewhere like this I expect them to react quite quick because there's not much cover, and right in the middle of it's like a territory. Squirrel. Called in a squirrel. Good calls. It's amazing what I've called in with these foxes, hares, obviously roe deer, muntjac, and even fallow doe come absolutely belting in one day to the call. But quite often you get a fox coming to you, especially if you're doing the lighter squeak, like a fawn. And now a squirrel. He really doesn't like me. Things like this, you know, that'll give the game up. If you get a buck that's clever, he hears that squirrel giving the alarm call, he won't come. And you think it's his call and everything else, but he's actually listening to a squirrel or a cock pheasant giving the game away. Or me talking loudly, clearly. Definitely off chance here. It's one of those places that it's yes or no. And there's maybe. No, let's move. It just feels not right. Strong buck. If we can get down a little bit of area, let's give him a few peeps on the old caller, see what he does. He might react. This time of day, because he's out there, he may well be looking for a missus. Oh my God, he's keen. Right, let's clean up. Well, this is what it's all about. You know, when people ask you why do you do it, this is the answer. If you come and experience this, you would just understand that you're out in nature. We basically spotted a buck. We used the skills, the best skills we got to call him in. He got in the dip. As soon as he's out of sight, we charged back into this dark area so he wouldn't spot us when he come up, because he was looking. And when you're calling, they look. And he came up there, stood on the ridge, and then give a few more little teasers in and brought him in. I'm going to pace it. Actually, I'm going to get the rangefinders. It is 20 metres. 20 metres in. So if you haven't got a clear picture of that, we're stuffed. Come in, give him a little call to stop him, and yeah, next shot and down. So absolutely. And the buck actually is a poorer buck, and I thought he was, when he's down the bottom, he looked a lot stronger. He was like 300 plus at the far side there. But when he come closer, I see he's not as thick. So there's a strong buck in here, really strong buck. So yeah, pleased with that. Boundary buck, perfect. I'm super chuffed. Yeah, basically, nice 6-pointer. Next shot. Yeah, nice 6-pointer. Yeah, definitely not the strong buck that's here, but a nice 6-pointer next shot. And we shot it literally from that bit of wall in just there, so 20 metres to the shot. So super chuffed with that. What we're going to do is I'm going to just put the rifle and stuff up there, and I'll carry him out of here. I don't want to flatten the piece. I was respectful of people's crops and whatnot. So yeah, I'll carry everything back and then attempt to carry him out. Do one leg spread on this one. There we go. Stick a glove in. Wow, what a morning. So the theory of the rain is out the window, but you see how the temperature changed. It was so cold first thing, and it literally warmed up, and then it went super humid. It was sweating, and we haven't seen a lot of deer, but the deer we have seen have been very active. So the first buck come charging in to the call. You see a young buck here, and he just didn't obviously come in because he was already clocked us. And then this boy was out on the boundary side, just a boundary buck. And I'm not worried about boundary bucks normally, but this side gets a little bit poached. There's like a lane down there. So yeah, that's the only reason for that. And I know there's a strong buck in here. I mean, this is a good buck, nice buck, but there's a seriously thick older buck just on this corner here. So you know, this buck might be an outer buck anyway. So and here is basically for forestry and management. So we like to leave a couple of good bucks, but realistically they want the numbers reduced all the time, bring the numbers down sensible so the forestry didn't get impacted. Well, what a morning we had. Basically, it's one to remember for me. It's a fantastic, perfect roe calling weather. They just come right into the camera, really close. One was 30 to 40 metres away, and the second come right into 20 metres away. So absolutely, yeah, fantastic. And Yeah, pleasure to be out again. I scored, and we actually had a couple, but you didn't actually manage to get one, did you?
No, I didn't. I didn't see any deer at all. But it's quite nice to be out and about and enjoying the stalk. But my morning hunting was done by a female goshawk feeding the
Really?
young one. Yeah.
All right.
And she got some young ones just down below me, and
Yeah.
she's feeding first. She brought in a pigeon.
Yeah.
Next thing, she had a smaller bird which she brought in, and then she went off, and I didn't see her after that. But it's worth. In my time as a gamekeeper, I've shot a lot of things anyway. So to me, to be out and see, you don't have to shoot anything. It's just enjoy yourself, just to be there and taking part in it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, it was a bonus for us getting a couple this morning. But like you say, I've never seen a goshawk feeding.
No.
Very rarely see a goshawk.
No.
So.
First one I've seen feeding young one. Anyway.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was it first of all? Pigeon.
Pigeon. Yeah, she
pigeon
plucked.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. Where I started in my gamekeeping career, one of the first interesting gamekeeping when I was about 9 at primary school, the ed teacher, who was called Gaffer Smith for that reason, he was quite a strict man.
Yeah.
He used to bring me in his keeping books, and I used to go with him when we used to shoot the rooks on the edge of the nest.
Yeah.
And with his 2.2 rifle, and have a few pots myself, and then we used to go in the park, tapping the big almond trees, where you used to get the sitting jackdaws. There used to be a group of people around shooting the jackdaws to control the numbers in the park.
Yeah.
And then, unlike you, you were born into keeping.
Yeah.
Had your own trap line when you was very young.
Yeah.
Always done the incubators and the eggs and the chicks and everything else. Been my right-hand person. I had no experience, and basically, but I had a lot of keenness. I was really keen to be a gamekeeper. So.
Yeah.
But in those days, gamekeeping was done on agricultural wage, and then you've got your tips as a little bonus, which is something. So when I first started, my wife was working for Lord and Lady Moy, who's with the polo ponies, and Lady Moy's mother with the hunters. And when we got married, he just bought an estate up at Unkford called the Edmonton Estate.
Yeah.
So we went there as gamekeeper there, and he very kindly helped me through into my career.
Yeah.
And the next door keeper called Ted Newman, who was a very experienced man. In those days, things were slightly different. He recommended electric ends for the first week for the pheasant chicks.
Yeah.
And then he had gay bird units, and he had probably 100 broody ends. He used to
Really?
set. Yeah. And their best day, when I know they shot 1,000 birds, but mostly it was around sort of like 200 or 300, then 500 or 600 in the middle.
Yeah.
That sort of type of shooting.
What year would that have been then?
1969.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then how long were you there for?
I was there for 6 years, and then my career sort of ended in a sense there because they wanted to end the shoot, but stayed on and done a bit of sort of carpentry work and farming. So I thought then, I was so keen, I thought to myself, I need another job. But then there's a time in 75 when Mr. Wilson was in power and all the strikes and everything else, and the rich people didn't have the money to spend on their shooting so much, right. And there was lots of shoots going under, lots of 300 gamekeepers looking for one job.
Yeah.
And that's when the Game Conservancy was looking for somebody for the Aberdeen estate in Southern Ireland.
Right.
And I was offered the head keeper's job. I was 25, so that's how that one come along.
And you're there for how long?
I was at Hungerford for 6 years, then we was in Southern Ireland for 4 years. But it's like, if all keepers know what sort of work they're involved with, their pens and everything else. When I first arrived in Ireland, April the 5th, to find that the incubator's not working, that all the rune equipment is all alien and wants washing, and everything's sort of wrong. And there wasn't a release pen on the estate. So I had to sort of build 5 release pens, rear sort of like 3 times as many pheasants that I normally reared.
Yeah.
And this is not with a little automatic thing. We had glass jars for the feeders and 3 gallon Altex drinkers.
Yeah.
And big Altex eaters in the brood houses. So there's a vast change. So my first underkeeper lasted for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Then he'd done a flip in the middle of the night. He left.
Yeah.
And then my next underkeeper come from Sparshot, who would come at the end of the summer term. So he was like coming in September.
Yeah.
When I got the last lot of birds out to the pens, he arrived. So I built sort of like 5 release pens. There's no popples, no gates, no nothing. So I had to make it all up. So so the first year was a lot of work, but we actually beat their day record and their season record at that time. So that was good. So we had 4 years there.
And then you moved back to the Cotswolds.
Yeah, we're lucky enough. We come back to. I'm from Babington, so we come back to the Cotswolds. To be honest, so it's coming back home in a sense.
Yeah.
And started to work at Camden for a lovely family.
So how long did you work for them for?
Well, at Camden.
Yeah.
36 years.
36 years.
Yeah.
I remember. What was it like? I think they still do it. The Gamekeeper long service award.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So you got one of those.
Yeah, I did that at Beaver Castle or Belvedere Castle. Yeah.
That's like the MBE of the gamekeeping world.
Yeah. Yeah, that was quite good actually. I enjoyed the day. Again, for me, the best part of the day was when we were having our lunch for all the old gamekeepers who were having their awards.
Yeah.
But it's talking to all the old gamekeepers there and their stories and their lifetime, which was very, very interesting. Yeah, and it was a super hot day, and I had my Scottish tweeds on, which was like 100.
That's it. Gotta be.
Yeah, which was very heavy, but we looked smart and we acted the part. Good.
I remember when I was younger and you give me other options to do other jobs, as in like to follow your footsteps. Obviously, I did, but there was always options to do other things. Mm-hmm. But do you think gamekeeping's changed that much? You wouldn't advise somebody to take on so much other career now, or would you?
I think gamekeeping has changed and is revalued itself. Being honest, whereas a gamekeeper was grateful for his farm worker's wage and his free cottage and a few logs and a rabbit or whatever he used to get, but nowadays they're overpaid and underworked.
Well, in some ways you're right, because a lot of people don't rear. We don't rear. I don't rear, but we do a lot of stalking, a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
But it was a thing of the past. Everybody reared.
Yeah.
And it was the full circle, catching up rear. And I remember doing the circle. But yeah, and then stalking. Obviously, stalking come in because I remember you getting the 243 when I was younger.
Yeah.
And that was a big step on the fox control.
Yeah.
What would you prefer, managing the foxes or managing the deer?
If I was going to take a choice, I would sit up in the evening waiting for fox. That was what I love, which I really enjoyed. And you see a lot of things, and you learn a lot about your estate.
Yeah.
What's going on, which people don't know you're there watching.
Yeah.
So that was really good. And but I do enjoy the deer shooting. I enjoy stalking, whereas you can go with your rifle and go out for an evening or a morning and have a stalk round. And if you shoot one shot, you shoot two, or don't shoot any, you've had a good morning, to be honest. Or just have that one shot, you might go all that time and get the one shot and then result. And that is a lot. But I wouldn't like to say I would like to be a professional, or not say a professional, but to go and have a ghillie looking after you, and take you around and show you.
All the time, yeah.
But saying that, when I've been up to Scotland with and shot some with Neil, we've had a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he looked after us really well.
What was your most memorable stalk? I mean, I remember a few you've told me and I've been involved in, but one that's you just remember that actually it's
the one which was my first Roe Buck I shot in Camden Wood turned out to be a gold medal, which I didn't really say at the time.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was an ugly, big, horrible thing, and basically that. So, but the actual, I think, when I went up to Willots one day, there was a couple of basset hounds in the Willots, and they flushed a buck out at the end of the plantation, and he was a lovely buck, beautiful buck, and right on our boundary. So I was really into the deer stalking there, and I thought that's got to be a trophy for me. So the next morning I went up there and walked alongside the plantation, and I only had a single stick for stalking with the old parkerel. Give a couple of taps on the tree, and nothing. Walked along a bit further, quietly, nothing. Walk along. Next thing, he came out the end of the plantation, ran across the field. I whistled, and he stopped. I put this crosshair behind his neck, bang, behind his front leg, bang. And he flinched himself, and he took off, and about 10 yards, and he went over, the perfect heart shot. And that was a very masculine buck, and that one mounted.
Yeah, I actually remember that, yeah. God. So it's quite good dragging you out then for a bit of memorabilia today, then?
Well, this morning, it is, I'm usually awake about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I'm still in that mode. I'm still dreaming pheasants, but But basically, it was nice to come out and have a look at the old place.
Yeah. Right. So basically, the thing is, most people go stalking for the end product, which is the meat. I grew up eating game, and I have a great understanding for it. But you become very not fussy. You want you choose the best.
Yep.
So, your opinion, what's your favourite venison, or actually game and venison? What's your favourite?
My favourite venison, I think, would probably be Chinese water deer.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, I've really I've had red deer, fallow deer, Sako, and roe deer, and muntjac. I was not too keen on that, but the Chinese water deer is great. And I find now that I've got this a new thing which has got a bit of chilli, a little bit of garlic, and salt, sea salt in it, and just give it a little bit of shake of that.
Yeah.
And it's worked in well. But my favourite venison, a lot as you all know, is a very nice young roe doe fawn, which has got a young one, which is a year old, which is you have the liver.
Yeah.
Soak in milk, and then when the richness has gone out of it, then put it then into flour with salt and pepper on it and lightly fried.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's better than all of it, to be honest.
Yeah, it's quite funny. I remember years have passed. I remember having a fry up in the morning, having the liver with you. I mean, I'll be totally honest. I like 2 pieces, 3 pieces, and then 4. It's just too much for me.
Yeah.
So fair play to you. And the milk thing always just puts me off. But hey, each to their own.
Remember the barbecue I'd done? If you remember, I'd done I had a fry, where you can fry the liver on the side.
Yeah.
I'd done deer liver. I'd done young rabbits barbecued with steaks and all that sort of thing. And the young rabbits and the deer liver went better than anything else. In fact, I didn't get much of my deer liver, to be honest, especially with your brother there anyway.